Becky. Welcome to my channel. I am excited for today's video because it has been all summer in the making. Actually, my whole life in the making, really. If you've watched my channel for a while, you probably know that I am a big person for to-do lists. I have to have a to-do list or I will run around like a chicken with my head cut off all day long, not knowing what to do, what's more important. And sometimes I still do that even with a to-do list, because I just feel like I've got so many things to do any given day. But in my adult years, I've always kept my to-do list on my computer. I don't like to use a phone because I can type way faster on my computer than I can on my phone. I'm really bad at texting, I'm like the worst. And so I would keep everything on my computer, and I had several different Word documents of like my daily to-do list and my future goals and my projects for my house and things for my husband to do. And it worked out for me because I knew to pull from those different documents to put into my to-do list, and it worked out for me because like I said, I can type way faster than I can write or text, and I can cut and paste. You know, if it's on computer, I could, if I didn't get something done or something got reprioritized, I could cut it and paste it and put it somewhere else. So it was really time efficient that way. But I didn't like it because it meant I was always glued to my computer. Or if you keep your list on your phone, you're always glued to your phone. And I didn't want that. And I'm trying to always be looking for ways to minimize screen time, whether that's a computer screen or my phone. And you know, a huge step that I made with my phone screen time is 2 years ago, I think now, I stopped keeping my phone in my room at night. That's made a huge difference in my screen time and my life and my sleep. And so this was just another step. And I've bought planners over the summer, and I bought planners in previous years. I've had happy planners and ones I got on Etsy and all these things I got on Amazon. And I would find all these things that look so pretty, and I watch other people plan in those things, and I think, man, that's amazing. I'm gonna get that, and it's gonna work for me just like it worked for them. But it never did. It was always disappointing. It was wasted money because they don't work for me that way. I've got a lot of different things, a lot of different categories to my life, a lot of different things I have to keep track of and organized, and I just couldn't make one of those pre-made planners work for me. So I went ahead and resorted to making my planner. Please ignore my ring light reflection. It's very gloomy today and I need the ring light. I was against putting it in a binder because I don't like that they don't bend backwards, and they do have some that bend backwards. I didn't like those for different reasons. Don't ask. I have very specific reasons of why I don't like certain things, but ended up with just using a regular binder and making my own tabs, and it's been working really, really well. Actually, I've been getting more things done, I've noticed, since going to this paper method, because I don't have things in those other documents where they can be forgotten, or heaven forbid, like I've had it happen before where my to-do list document would get corrupted and I would lose everything. So, and that should have been a lesson to me to back things up better. But anyway, I've actually found that I've been more productive since using this method because I'm able to compartmentalize my life just like I was with those other documents, but it's all in one book with different tabs. And so for me, my brain is like a Windows computer anyway. There's 8 million tabs open all the time, all the time. Even when I'm trying to go to sleep at night, I'm thinking about grocery lists or things that I forgot to do that day or somewhere I need to go tomorrow. And so this has really been working really, really well over the summer. Now, we're getting ready to start our homeschool year. By the time you see this, we probably already started. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to continually tweak it a little bit, but given the fact that I've been planning the same way for so long, it's understandable that I would have to make changes along the way to really, really hone in on what's gonna work for me. But just this system I've already got so far has been working so well and really added to my productivity and my organization and my mental clarity, which is helpful. So I'm gonna go do an overhead shot for you guys and show you what's in it right now as it currently is. But like I said, it is ever evolving. It may change, it may not change, but it may change over the course of time to add certain categories or maybe take different categories out that I'm not using. But I thought it would be helpful to you guys because if you're like me and you just cannot find a planner that's already made that works for you, or if you want to start planning but you don't know where to begin, or you want to start planning but you don't want to have to do it on an app or on your computer or on your phone, definitely consider something like this. It's terribly inexpensive. I mean, I had pretty much every single thing I needed already to start this. The only thing I bought was, I did buy a pencil pouch, and I bought some new dividers just because they're pretty. I already had some, but they were ugly, and I wanted pretty ones. Since this is something I'm planning on using every single day, I wanted pretty ones, and I think that's okay. But you can make this as inexpensive or as expensive as you want. But the point is still that it doesn't have to be complicated for it to work, and it does not have to be on a screen for it to work. So Let me go reset the camera up what you can see overhead, and I'll show you everything that's in my DIY budget-friendly planner. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to record this because I don't have the right camera set up where, like, you know, the people that do the planner tours and they have like the camera that like is perfectly overhead. I don't have that, so I'm just sitting at my kitchen table. I'm gonna show you the best way that I can. So here's the planner that I have. And like I said, keep in mind, it is a work in progress, and in the beginning I went through and I custom made planner pages for every single type of planning page that I wanted. I ended up scrapping a lot of them and using just some basic things, for the most part, not everything. So right here in the opening, I just have a to buy and an errands page. And this is just a running list of places that I need to go in the somewhat near future, and then things I need to buy. This could be something I need to buy right now, or it could be something I want to buy later on down the road. But for the most part, it helps me to keep track of what I need to add to the shopping list. If I'm going, you know, here I have grass seed. So the next time I know I need to go to Lowe's or I'm near Lowe's, I will know I need to get grass seed. And then errands, just returns I need to make and things like that. So that's right there in the front. Then I have this pencil pouch, which I just thought was cute. I wanted one that was cute. It's got like little shaky, I don't know, like confetti pineapples and smiley faces and the stars. I needed a pencil pouch to make sure that when I'm going anywhere, whether it's to the living room or in the car or wherever I have my planner, I have everything I need to plan in my planner. So the main thing that I need any given time is whiteout tape, so I have some of that. I also have some at my desk. I have a Sharpie because I like to use the wide Sharpies to mark things out when I get them done. And then I have a variety of like pens. These are all erasable. I have a highlighter, and a wet erase marker that I'll show you why I have that in here in a little bit. This section for me, even though it looks like plain notebook paper, because it is kind of the bread and butter of this entire planner. And this is where I brain dump everything I need to do, whether it's long-term or short-term. It doesn't live here forever, especially if it's a long-term. It actually has a place to go. But sometimes I need to write things down. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna be able to get to them, so I don't wanna go immediately and write them in the long-term projects section. So I just, for the most part, every single thing I think I need to do, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, everything goes here initially. And originally I had made a brain dump page and it was super cute and everything, but it just ended up being annoying to have to print that out a lot. And I don't know, for some reason, notebook paper is working the best for me so far. So that's pretty much the main area, and that's why it's right in the front. So that as I'm planning projects and daily things and giving my husband some things I need him to do and monthly projects and things like that, everything's coming from this area of the planner. So that's the first section. Okay, so the first tab section is projects. And this is where I will go through that master brain dump list and kind of categorize things into home projects that are longer term, home projects that are shorter term, miscellaneous, and YouTube. Don't usually put a whole lot here in the YouTube section because I just made a new tab divider for specifically YouTube. But when I originally made this sheet, I was taking a break from YouTube. So when I reprint this, once it's kind of all done, I might take that out. I may not, it doesn't really matter, it's not a huge deal. But when I am actively working on YouTube videos, this little box is not big enough to do all the stuff I need to do. But I like breaking up the project specifically for the home into longer term, shorter term, because at any given time, if I have extra time or, you know, whatever reason, I have something that I want to do over and above my typical stuff that I do every day and every week, this is a good place to go to see, okay, short-term projects I need to do, and then long-term projects that are gonna take longer or maybe cost more money, they're gonna go here. And then I showed this form in my reset for fall video. This is a 2023 list, so all the things that I know I need to do next year or that I want to do, a lot of times it's going to be home projects that I won't get around to doing this year because of time, sometimes it's because of money. Got some goals in here just in general for the year, but like repainting the house, that's going to be very time intensive and more expensive because all of our walls in the main areas are painted the same color, and so it takes, you know, a little bit of a budget to to do that. So that's something that we may do in 2023. It may end up getting pushed to 2024 because they're not really that bad. But I know I'm not gonna do it this year, and so that's where it goes here. And this really helps me at the end of 2022 when I go into 2023. I already have a list of some things that I know that I may want to get done in that current year, plus more, but you know, at least I know I've got some things already that I think are important that I am hoping to get done in the next year. So that really helps me to get it off my plate and get it out of my brain now, but I'm not gonna forget it because it's right here, and then when the new year starts, I've already kind of got a handle on some things I need to do. And then I also have a seasonal to-do list, and I showed all of these different planning, like to-do list templates that I use in a video I did earlier this year. I'll try to remember to link it, basically how I plan. Now the only thing that's different from now and from that video is in that video I talked about how that I type my to-do list every night and that I keep my to-do list on computer. Obviously I'm trying not to do that, that's why I have this, but I still use this, and this really helps me to, it's another way of blocking my time seasonally. So things that I may want to do in the spring, summer, fall, or winter, I'll go ahead and write in. So like if it was springtime and I knew that you know, I needed to put some grass seed down or something in the fall, so I would go ahead and add that to fall. It's just another way to kind of keep things on the agenda without me having to keep them in my brain, because I'm the type of person that tries to remember everything at all times, and all that makes me end up doing is being overwhelmed and not remembering anything. So this really helps, and this is a free printable I found online. In my daily section, I have all my daily to-do list. Now this is not the prettiest thing in the world. This is actually a printable that I found free online, and I like it. It works really well for me. The only thing I don't like about it is they start the week on Monday, and I plan starting the week on Sunday. So every time, I need to go ahead and take the time to make one of these on my own and have it say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but I haven't done it yet. It's not terribly top priority. I just use that whiteout tape and mark out the days that she has and put the days that I want. But this really helps me to plan my week roughly in advance. So let's say that I know in this week, let's say this is the week previous to the 14th, and I know next week on my radar I need to go to Lowe's and talk about our carpet contract, because I do need to do that. And I know more often than not, we do a lot of our errands on Sunday because my husband is off on Sundays, so that's why I have that written there. I have post reset video because I know I've got that video going up on Monday, so I'm putting it on the day before. So this just really helps me to somewhat time block the things I need to do. Obviously it's not written on the actual daily to-do list, so it's not set in stone, but it helps me to kind of frame things up. And then down here in the notes section, I usually write anything else I know I want to try to get to that week, but I don't necessarily have a specific day that I think it'll happen. I write it down here, and that really helps. And so prior to, like when I first started using this planner, I didn't have this sheet, and I really missed it because I was trying to figure out like the best way to keep track of things that I knew I wanted to do that week, but didn't know exactly when. And I was putting like post-it notes and moving them all around, and that didn't work. This works really well, and it was a free printable. Like I said, at some point I may make my own because I would like to make these boxes bigger, and I would like to make it where the week starts on Sunday, but for now this is working out okay. And then I get into my daily sheet. This one I made for myself on PicMonkey. Originally, this is like the 5th or 6th version. I had it different, and it was so cute and had all this stuff on it, and then over time I realized that I wasn't even looking at that. There was no sense in wasting ink on it. I'm really cheap and I don't like wasting ink, so I took out all the color stuff and I took out all the cute little designs, but this still works really well for me. I've got a place for the date up here and any errands I need to do that day. And then I have things that are, other than cleaning, static things that I know need to be done every single day. The devotional with the girls, my oldest daughter's still practicing on her driving, and I know during the school year I need to grade. So those things are living there, but I can always go back into PicMonkey and change this if I want to, and I have multiple times. But this format seems to work really well. It's still got plenty of spaces to write things to do in the day, and then those things up there in the top. So that's just every single day there's one of these, and then I have a little tab here. So like this is the week after that one, and see how it starts on Monday. So I'll go through and fix that. But I just have one of these and then 7 to-do lists, and then one of these and 7 to-do lists. So that works out really well. My husband actually has his own section and some notebook paper, and this is all where I put things that he specifically needs to do, things I need his help with. And so then when he is off or we're doing projects around the house, I don't have to think about all the stuff that I may want his help with. I have everything written down, so that really helps. Then I have a monthly tab. This is just where I keep monthly calendars. I have a monthly calendar at my desk, and I use that one more than this one. But this one really helps me if I am away from my desk, especially if I'm like out of the house and I'm taking my planner with me. I basically copy my desk calendar exactly in this calendar, so I know the things that we have to do and errands we have to do. But the reason I like having this in addition to my desk calendar is it's got a section for goals and notes. Mostly the goals are what I use, and the same way that I plan the week in advance, kind of an idea of what I want to do in that week, I do the same thing here. So goals and things that I want to try to get done in September. And this is just a really good place for me to stay focused. And a lot of times I get the ideas for my goals from that initial, you know, from that projects folder that I showed you earlier. So sometimes longer term projects, shorter term projects, things like that. A lot of times I will get my goals from that sheet. Not everything, but a lot of those things come from that. It just helps me stay on track. It's really hard for me because I do get overwhelmed, and I try to be productive. It can be really hard sometimes to figure out like, what should I do this week or this month? What are my top priorities? What really needs to get done? And so that really helps me to break it down. As much as I can take a big list and compartmentalize it and break it down as many times as possible, that really helps me. So I have planner, or I have, they're undated. I just go in and write the dates. So I have monthly calendars for the rest of this year. Okay, and then this next sheet, I actually just added the YouTube tab, like I said, and I've already been using this sheet for a long time, but it was always just kind of laying around my desk. It didn't really have a home. And so now it has a home, and this is how I plan out my YouTube videos. So I just made this, and then I have notes. So when I'm doing prep work for videos, filming them, editing them, thumbnail, and then if they're uploaded, and then once all of that's done and scheduled, I go ahead and mark it out. Hence, that's where this comes in handy. I do this for my to-do list too. When I do something and I complete something, I want everybody to know it is done, and I want it to be thick and black and not read-throughable, and so I like to use these for that. So I have one of these. Actually, looks like I have two of those. Yeah, because they get messy looking pretty fast, and so I like to replace those. And then for right now, I'm just kind of sticking my content planner back here. I'm just kind of sticking it in here, and the weight of the binder kind of keeps it in tight, and it's not a problem. My last tab section is my cleaning tab. And basically this is where I keep all of my deep cleaning checklists. So I am in the process of changing and figuring out my new cleaning schedule. I've been doing something over the summer that's been working really well. And if it continues to work well, I will probably make videos about it. But this is where I keep all of my deep cleaning checklists. They're in page protectors, so that's where I use the wet erase marker. When they're done, I mark them out. And when the entire room is done, I put the date. That way I know, kind of keep track of how long it's taking me to work through all the areas of my house before I can make it back to the beginning. And that is pretty much it. And like I said, it's been working out really, really well. And obviously I can add or take things out as they stop working, or as I think of new things I need to add. But this has been working out really well, and it's served the purpose too of getting off of my computer and not having to plan anything digitally, which I was trying to do. And like I said earlier as well, I've also found that I've been more productive and getting to a lot more things and a lot more projects when I've been using this method than the previous method. So this just may give you an idea of a way that you can plan. You know, I know everybody's brain works differently and everybody has different ways they like to do things, but I just thought I would share this with you guys because I have been a diehard, you know, to-do list on computer person for so long that I wanted to share it because this was kind of a big deal for me and a monumental occasion for me. So I thought I would share with you guys. I hope it was helpful. If it was, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.